Hi, folks. Welcome to this live trade deadline trade deadline show, I guess is what I called it, right? I am Chipper Lewis of course, the Ivy Boys podcast. Tonight, for this show, there's no Joel. Joel is not with us tonight or today. He's at work. I am off work for the trade deadline, and so that's what's exciting about it is that I'm able to actually do this, which is awesome. I love talking about the trade deadline and things like that. I love talking about trades, what teams are going to do. If you are with us and watching and listening, please comment down below. I'm going to need people's interactions would be amazing so I can keep this show fresh. I'm going to be back and forth between here and Twitter. Of course, I could probably go ahead and do something here, but definitely, let's interact. Let's talk about the trades. Let's talk about the big things going down. First things first, let's talk about how scared we were when we heard the Brewers were making a huge move. That scared me for a minute. And then it turns out it was just Drew Pomeranz, which I'm not worried about at all because who knows if he's even going to be a starter or a reliever. That's, we don't even know that. So if you do notice me, I'm looking down, stuff like that. That's going to happen because I'm getting updates as we go on here. And again, like I said, I'm doing this by myself. And so this should be fun. I'm excited. We are at 30 minutes now. 30 minutes until the trade deadline has officially happened. And I don't know about anybody else. I know if you're a Cub fan, you're sitting there and you're like, well, what are they going to do? Like, what are they done? That's the real question. Are the Cubs done? It's hard to tell. I don't really have an answer for that. Tony Kemp was, a bench acquisition because that's all he is. He's a bench acquisition. I to this day still believe that was a good trade. I like the trade a lot. It's not sexy. It's not the sexy move that many people are expecting, of course. And so, where do they go from here? That's the real question. Like, are the Cubs done? That's what everybody wants to know. Are they done? I just don't know. They need another bat. I know they do. I get that they need a bat. I understand that. But I just don't know if it's going to happen. It looks like Detroit really doesn't want to trade Nick Castellanos or is even like taking it serious. You have guys like Nick Castellanos and Whit Merrifield who easily could be traded and get somebody good for him. Nick Castellanos is a free agent at the end of the year. And the Tigers are really close. 28 minutes away from getting nothing for Nick Castellanos. Because he's going to walk away. I bet you anything. He will walk away. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. This is what's so exciting. This is live. This is what's happening right now. So if it sounds like I'm kind of stuttering stuff like that, that's because I am. I'm thinking of things to say. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on in Major League Baseball. The Brewers have gotten a reliever / starter, I guess. And Drew Pomeranz. I don't know. I mean, I don't really see what the point of that trade was when they could have, may have gotten something better. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get what the Brewers are doing. Of course, I'm not mad about it because why would I be mad with the Brewers not making good trades? So we'll see. Do they, if people are watching, that'd be awesome. Comment. Give me questions. I'm here for the questions, folks. That's what I'm here for. If you have any, shoot them at me. I'm watching on my phone right now. I can see your questions. We are 26 minutes away from the deadline. What do you guys got for me? Any questions? It could be about Cubs. It can be about the Cardinals. It can be about anybody. I'm here. I want to answer what you have to say. Ask. So we'll see what's going on. What else is happening? For being 30 minutes away, less than 30 minutes away, I'm a little surprised that we're not really seeing a whole bunch of trades right now. A lot of things, people saying the Yankees are still looking for relievers. There's that. Sean Green went to the Braves, and they've also acquired John Ryan Murphy from the Diamondbacks. Braves kind of have bulked up a little bit. They believe that they can unseed the Dodgers in the National League, and they very well could. The sneaky team that has really, really done good for themselves today is the Washington Nationals. I'm shocked. I am shocked what the Nationals have been able to pull off, actually, because we all know about their three starters, right? Corbin, Scherzer, and Strasburg. We all know about those guys and how you would not want to face them in a short series. But, boy, I tell you what, they just shortened their bullpen, too. They just shored up their bullpen. It's a great bullpen. It really is. If the Nationals make the playoffs, they're going to be a dangerous team. They actually might win a series. Could you imagine that? Imagine the Nationals actually winning a series. Be nuts. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet today. Shane Green. Oh, man. That's a great trade. That was a great trade. Who else left the National League Central? Jesus Aguilar left the National League Central. He's in Tampa Bay Rays, so the Cubs don't have to worry about him anymore. Corey Dickerson left the NL Central, traded from the Pirates to the Phillies. Who else? Who am I thinking? Who else is left the National League Central? Yasiel Puig, of course, is gone. Here's a breaking news. Pitcher Mike Minor has been traded to the Philadelphia Phillies, according to Jeff Passan of ESPN. So the Phillies bulk up their rotation. How about that? Phillies. They I like what the Phillies are doing. I do. They could be just like the who am I thinking of? The Washington Nationals. They could be a very dangerous team if they can get into the playoffs. Very dangerous. So, it's a good move. Mike Minor is a good player. I kind of wish I wanted him on the Cubs last year. So, it doesn't surprise me. Looks like the Pirates could be on their way of getting rid of a player. Let's see here. The talks between the Dodgers and Pirates centered around Pittsburgh closer Felipe Vasquez are still going on, but sources say the talks appear to have hit a roadblock. Okay, so, but again, who would be upset if Vasquez left the NL Central? Again, I would not be upset with that at all. And yes, you are going to hear my phone going off because that's what I do. Because I'm, this is a live show. I get that, but gives me notifications. I still got to know what's going on in the world, right? So, anybody have any questions? Anybody? Let's see here. Let's go back to the YouTube. Anybody? Any questions about your team? About the Cubs? Anything? I'm here. Ask it right there in the comments. I will even comment right now. Ask right here. Ask any questions here. Now people know where to ask. If you didn't know where to ask before, now you do. Man. So again, it's kind of quiet right now. It's eerily quiet. I feel like something could be going on. I think we're going to see the flurry of trades here in the next 15 minutes. I do. How many wins will the Cards win by in the NL Central? -4. -4. I still don't think the Cardinals finish. I don't even know if they finish second. Be perfectly honest with you, Ryan. I'm sorry. I hate to do that to you. I just don't. They're on a hot streak right now. They are. There's no doubt about it. Is it sustainable? I don't know. We'll see. I just don't know if it is. I just don't know if it is. Other than that, I don't know. I am shocked that we are not seeing more stuff happen right now. I thought this show was going to be boom, 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 trying to keep up with everything. And right now, it is nothing. Cubs just put out their lineup for tonight. I really like it. I really do, because it has Hayward leading off. And I have said this before, that I would like to see Jason Hayward lead off. I think there's something there that could work with this team. The guy gets on base. The guy has an amazing eye. So I'm liking this experiment. And then Wilson Contreras is batting second. Contreras, again, is a guy like Wilson Contreras who can get you a walk if you need it. And that's right now, that's what the Cubs need. The Cubs need someone who can get on base. Let's look here. Let's look at Contreras's and Hayward's on-base percentage for this year. Contreras' on-base percentage this year is .372. Hayward's is .355. So you have two guys who get on base, for the Cubs, and they're at the top of the order. And so you would think that this could work. And I'm excited that this is something that could happen. So we'll see. I'm excited. I'm going to the game. What's your thoughts on the collapse of the Cubs this season? It's not really a collapse. It's still early. Wow. Here you go. The Atlanta Braves are nearing a deal to acquire reliever Mark Melancon from the Giants. Former closer Mark Melancon going to the Braves. That's juicy. That's a juicy trade. The Braves, I guess, are not going after a starter. They're just going to bulk up their bullpen. So that's interesting. That's man, that just makes the Braves that much better. They have bulked up their bullpen now. Again, I think the Braves are going for it. They're going for it. And they should, because they have a good team. A team that can win now. Like I said, it looked like, at the beginning of the day, that the what's the word I'm looking for? That I lost my train of thought. Oh, it looked like they were going to get started, like Zach Wheeler in on him or something like that. And they're not. I guess they're not. They're focused on the bullpen now, knowing that the price for a starter is probably really high right now. And I don't get it. Teams are very... I don't get it. Okay, I don't understand what is going on. And why there's people who think that there's teams who think that Zach Wheeler or something like that, or Nick Castellanos, somebody who's a free agent, Madison Bumgarner, these guys are going to leave your team and you're going to get nothing for them when they leave. When you have a slim chance of making the playoffs, probably most likely won't make the playoffs, you go ahead and hold on to him when you could actually trade him and get something for him, and you make the price so high that they're untradeable. Like, why is Nick Castellanos still a Detroit Tiger? Why is Madison Bumgarner still a Detroit Tiger? A San Francisco Giant? Why is Will Smith still a San Francisco Giant? Do the Giants really think they stand a chance of getting into the playoffs? I really think that's their mindset, is that they have a shot. They were always going to trade Drew Pomeranz. They've got an amazing, really, really good shortstop prospect out of it. And that's awesome. Good for them. But, man, what are you doing? What are you doing holding on to all these guys? What are they thinking? I don't really understand what is happening right now. Why aren't these players moving? Players who are free agents at the end of the year. This is it's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. Did you guys see the fight last night while we're waiting for other news to come through? Did you see the fight last night between the Pirates and the Reds? How awesome was it that Yasiel Puig was involved in the fight? How cool was that? I thought that was pretty cool. Only because he was traded. The trade was announced, and he was fighting people. I thought that was pretty cool. I really did. I'm sharing the feed of this so we can get a little bit more viewers would be awesome. Maybe some more comments. But anyway, so we're sitting here. We're still waiting for something to happen. Right? Shane Green's gone. Mark Melancon, all Braves, so that's something. But there's something. I feel like something big is on the horizon. I really do. I feel like something's going to happen in these next 13 minutes. So that's what we have left. 13 minutes. Go back to the YouTube. Hey, one person's watching. That's all right. Yeah, we're sitting here. We're waiting for that big one. We're waiting for it. Would you consider the Bauer trade a big one? I guess so. I guess that's the definition of a blockbuster right now. I don't know if I would consider it a blockbuster by any means. But Is this trade deadline remind you so much of the does this remind you of the winter meetings and free agency and stuff like that? Very slow to develop. And that's what exactly is happening. Just came through. David Robertson is out for the season, which would explain nothing. Which I'm surprised now that the Phillies are not going for it, trying to get a reliever. I'm surprised they weren't in on a Shane Green. They very well could have been. I'm basing this off the fact that I am not seeing that they were. He's having Tom John surgery. or might need Tommy John surgery. Man, you hate to see it. You would hate to see that because David Robertson's been one of the most consistent guys in the bullpen in Major League Baseball for a long time. And you hate seeing stuff like that. Other than that, again, we're still waiting. About 11 minutes. Looks like it could be about 10. Again, if you're watching us now and you have any questions about any team, not just the Cubs, comment below. I'll answer them for you on the air. But you have to ask before I can answer. Otherwise, we're just sitting here refreshing Twitter and seeing if anything happens. Yankees interested in Blue Jays starting pitcher Aaron Sanchez as a bullpen piece, apparently. I don't know. I mean, that's, again, okay, here you go. Here's another question. Are you surprised that the Yankees haven't done anything? Where are the Red Sox? Why are these, mediocre teams, not counting the Braves and the Nationals, why are all these other mediocre teams getting these players and not? Where are the Red Sox and the Yankees? These guys are usually on top of everything when it comes to the trade deadline. They're usually right here in it. So I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I'm sorry. Okay. Something just happened on my Twitter feed. Okay, good. So we're at 10 minutes, 9 minutes now. 9 minutes before the deadline. We have absolutely nothing going on. We've had some relievers dealt. Again, I don't know what the Giants think they're doing. It makes no sense. Because are they sellers? Because they sold off Pomeranz, Melanson, and Derek Holland. But they're going to keep Will Smith and Madison Bumgarner, two guys who they would have gotten the most out of it for both those two guys than what they got for Holland and Pomeranz and stuff like that. Even though the guy they got for Pomeranz is really good, but imagine getting three more of those guys by trading Madison Bumgarner. So, I don't know. It's weird. We have 10 minutes left and nothing. It's going down 8 minutes. 8 minutes till the deadline. And nothing's coming over. Where's the big one? There's got to be a big one. Giants playing with their heart and not with their head. Absolutely. That's exactly what it seems like. It's one thing to be as close they are to the wild card, which I think, let me go to Baseball Reference and pull it up on my computer. They're only technically 4 games out of it. But you know how many teams they'll have to jump to even stand a chance? They're 2.5 games out. But they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 teams. 5 teams ahead of them. Sorry, 4 teams ahead of them. 4 teams ahead of them in the wild card race. Like I said, it's one thing to think you stand a chance and you look at their 2.5 games out in the wild card and think you have a chance. But that involves 4 other teams absolutely tanking. And it doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. I've seen it way too many times. It's absolutely crazy. How about the fact that Robbie Ray hasn't been traded yet either? What's Arizona doing? You think San Francisco's being stubborn? What are the Arizona Diamondbacks doing? Why are you not selling? Why are these teams saying, well, we want to keep him unless, of course, you offer us this. And it's way too much. Way too much. Yeah, I agree with you, RT Cortez. I think I got that right. Tons of teams that jump. Hot streak is an anomaly. They aren't built to contend. They're not. They are not built to contend. And it's crazy that they're not moving people. I still can't get over that. That and the fact that Nick Castellanos hasn't been moved yet, it's kind of shocking. It really, truly is kind of shocking. Because Nick Castellanos is a free agent. Also, just like Madison Bumgarner. And he could help a team now, and he could at least get you something other than a 3rd-round draft pick? If you offer him a qualifying offer. Right? I don't know. This is crazy. Where's the big one? Is it going to happen? Bruce Levine just put out a bombshell. At one point, okay, so this could have been any time. Cubs and Detroit were close to dealing Nick Castellanos for minor league catcher Johnny Pereda. So why did that deal fall apart then? Why has that deal fallen apart? We're not going to get any explanation from Bruce because he probably doesn't know. Man. Zach Wheeler's still in Matt. I don't get that either. Why is the price so high for him? Boy, I really hope the Cubs didn't say no on that trade, by the way. Because if that was the case, then I really, really hope that was the Tigers saying no. I don't get why those not built to contend don't enter the process as Cubs and Astros have shown to work. It's a legit question. It is baffling because you have front offices who are extremely proud. And they were there. No reason to hang on to mediocrity. True, and that's true. There's a lot of front offices that are very proud. Jeff Ludo and his guys knew what it was going to take. Theo and Jed and company knew what it was going to take. But there's front offices like here in St. Louis that are too proud and think that they don't have to do a full down breakdown to contend again. They are content to being mediocre. Astros have acquired Blue Jays right-handed pitcher Joe Biagini. Bo Biganini. Biganini? I can't say his name. But yeah, we are 3 minutes. I'm really, really, really curious why the Cubs. Gosh, I really hope that was the Tigers that said no. Patient Bulls fan here. Absolutely, buddy. Unfortunately, I just don't know if we are going to see the success of the Chicago Bulls as long as Gar and Pax are involved. I really don't think so. And it's a shame. It really is. But other than that, yeah, I mean, people, there's a new way to do baseball right now and build teams, and teams that tried to build on success for the past try and want to keep doing that way. And it does work sometimes. Think about what the Yankees did. And that's a very interesting situation. The Yankees knew that they were not going to make playoffs of 2016. So what they do, they traded Andrew Miller and Aroldis Chapman. And think about what they got for all those guys. And now the Yankees are the best team in the American League. So, 1 minute. 1 minute. Actually, it's probably like 30 seconds now. We're just waiting for it. I swear. If the Cubs said no to that trade, I'm going to be not happy. We're coming up. It's almost 3 o'clock, folks. It's almost time. Anybody else have any questions? Vent to me.
As for the Cubs, grabbing any of these big-name targets move, maybe add a win or two from here on out. So good teams keep prospects as they don't yield a tangible result.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, yeah, parades over prospects. Okay. That's what I got to say. Parades over prospects.
You do that deal every single time. And you're probably right about the theory of why there's not. People are over.
Some front offices are just like fans. They overvalue their prospects. They can overvalue their prospects. So that's very well what could have been happening. And by the way,
3 o'clock, 3:01 now.
Deadline's over. You're going to still see some moves trickle in here and there. But I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see a big one. I really don't. Just came out. Nick Castellanos is walking into the dugout. I mean, walking out of the locker room into the dugout in full uniform, by the way. So as of right now, Nick Castellanos has not been traded. Tigers are acquiring Joey Wentz and Travis Dimitri from the Braves in exchange for Shane Green. This was... Oh, man. Zach Wheeler is a Met. Free agent at the end of the year, and he's a Met. Apparently, the Castellanos to the Cubs for Johnny Perrotta that Bruce Levine tweeted out it probably died because of a couple things, either money or what else? Detroit said no. It's one of those. Wow. Bumgarner stays. Ken Rosenthal. Bumgarner stays. Wheeler stays. Vasquez stays. I don't know what these teams are doing. Castellanos apparently stays. So for the rest of the year, according to Joel Sherman, Mets rotation to finish the season: DeGrom, Thor, Stroman, Wheeler, Matz. That's a good rotation. But man. So I want your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this deadline? I want to know why Nick Anderson's going Tampa Bay from Miami, by the way. Last second deal. Why? Why did we not see anything big? Is it because we saw a bunch of little stuff? Because that probably actually would have gotten done at the August deadline. Is that part of the reason? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. RT is that I think having one trade deadline caused lack of movement. Think about it. In a month, the Giants easily will know that they're gone. They're done. So they would have traded Bumgarner then. Yeah. I mean, we're saying the same thing here, RT. It definitely that had everything to do with it.
It's just crazy.
The team, I am shocked that didn't make a move.
And I really, really thought
was going to try to do something. Is that the St. Louis Cardinals. Am I upset about it? Absolutely not. But, wow.
I'm surprised that
The Dodgers did get Jed Jerko from the Cardinals. There's your Cardinals move, by the way. They traded Jed Jerko, who had no spot on that team,
to the Dodgers.
So there's your Dodgers and Cardinals trade. People are coming out and saying this is like the worst trade deadline ever. And I'm here to agree with them. I could not agree with more. This was Aaron Sanchez has been traded. This apparently has gotten in before the deadline. I would imagine to the Yankees. So there's your Yankees move. But yeah, this was definitely not fun. I thought this was going to be cool. A cool deadline. It wasn't. Gosh, man. I cannot believe the Cardinals didn't do anything. It was weird. It was weird. It just is. Another one coming through. Tommy Birch has put this out. Sam Dyson looks like he from the Giants is headed to Minnesota. So surprisingly, there's another team that's completely quiet. I'm surprised that the Twins are just now coming about. I'm surprised you haven't heard much about them, for a while. But it looks like Sam Dyson looks like might be going to Minnesota. Minnesota had to do something. I thought they were going to do something bigger. They're going to ride this out with what they have, and hopefully can hold back the Indians, which I don't know. I don't know if we can. I really don't. But, man. Yeah, Jed Jerko has been traded. It's crazy. Well, there you go. Yankees have acquired Alfredo Garcia from the Colorado Rockies.
Maybe this will make better races down to the finish. In years past, so many teams gave up. I sacrifice a boring trade deadline for more exciting divisional races.
As a pure baseball fan, absolutely. Absolutely. But as a Cub fan, I needed them. I needed a bat. I needed them to get a bat. And they got Tony Kemp, which again, I don't hate on that trade. You were not going to keep.
You were not going to keep.
Malden, 3 catchers, and Maldonado. So I was okay with that trade. It solidifies the bench a little bit. That's what you were looking for. But Aaron Sanchez has been traded. Mike Leake going to the Diamondbacks. What? Why are these mediocre teams doing this? I don't get this. This deadline makes no sense. It was boring. There were absolutely no huge blockbusters. Trevor Bauer and Yasiel Puig, that was borderline blockbuster. Why Why are teams that are pretty much out of it adding? Why is this happening? I don't get this. I don't get this. Why? Nick Castellanos has left the Tigers dugout. This is not a joke. Nick Castellanos has left the dugout. Jody Mercer has stepped on deck where Castellanos was hitting. Nick Castellanos looks like has been traded. Oh, buddy. Here we go. Here we go. You had to, these things were going to happen. Stay with me. This is going to be a big news. This could be Cubs related. Nick Castellanos has left the Tigers dugout and has left the field. I'm tweeting right now. Yes, Castellanos would be an everyday player. Oh, man. Everything's coming in right now. Aaron Sanchez traded to the Astros. Wow. Nick Castellanos, extremely late scratch. This is not over. At least if you're a Cubs fan, pay attention. Nick Castellanos to the Cubs. Nick Castellanos to the Cubs. The Cubs got their bat. The Cubs got their bat. It's happened. It has happened. Woo! Top of the lineup bat. He can play the outfield. Now you're going to move Hayward to center. Castellanos will play right field. That's me not knowing anything about this trade. But I know that the Cubs just got Nicholas Castellanos. Nicholas Castellanos is a Chicago Cub. Nick Castellanos is a high contact hitter with pop. His defense is mediocre. He's not the best defender, but he's a bat. He's a great hitter against left-handers. Nick Castellanos is going to fit perfectly in this lineup because you can hit him at the top of the order. He can play right field where he will. And it's just, this is the spark they needed. This could be huge. Could be huge. Huge. Yeah. Oh, man. Nick Castellanos. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out right now. I'm live and I'm freaking out. I got to reset. I'm still waiting to see exactly who the Cubs have given up. But breaking news, the Cubs have gotten Nick Castellanos. Yep, Nick Castellanos is back in. Oh my gosh. We had Hug Watch. This is awesome. I'm tweeting right now. Head over here for reaction. Hashtag Cubs. Sorry. I was tweeting, folks. This is why I did this, for things like this. Here's the thing, worrying about Almora, Schwarber, Happ getting at bats. Let's start there with that question. Because most likely one of those guys get, oh my gosh, another bombshell. Astros get Greinke. Zach Greinke has been traded. What is going on? Okay, so we have gone From I know we literally have gone from nothing to all this. By the way, little side note. Almora was not in the lineup today. He was not put in the lineup. So I would imagine he's probably the one going to. I believe he would be going to Detroit. And oh my gosh, I can't tell you enough how excited I am. But we still don't know who they have given up, the Cubs, or what the Astros have given up. I would imagine they are eating a lot of his money. Otherwise, why would the Diamondbacks do that, right? Yeah. Oh, man. I just got really excited. Yeah, it definitely changes our earlier dialogue. This deadline now all of a sudden has become huge. This is a huge deadline. The fact that they got, Almora definitely, he definitely has fallen off quite a bit. We still don't know who is going to Detroit, but the leak deal to Arizona made the room available to move Greinke, and that's where we are. Oh my gosh, Astros got Zach Greinke, Aaron Sanchez, and Joel Biagini. Oh man, Castellanos with a 790 OPS has a 357 on base percentage, batting second this year. He could easily fit at the top of this Cubs order. That's Jesse Rogers from Chicago, ESPN Chicago. Time to breathe. Everybody needs to breathe. Man. Huge last minute trades. So the Cubs have added Castellanos, Kimbrel, Holland, David Phelps, and Kemp. In the last, month? Oh, my gosh. It made sense. Bob Nightingale put out that this was the dullest deadline, and he's always wrong. Kyle Tucker is staying put with the Astros. He's not part of the Astros deal for Greinke. Scooter Gennett has been traded to the Giants. Sam Dyson officially is a Twin. Where would I put? That's it. The Cubs gave up Paul Richan, which I literally do this Cubs podcast as my part-time jobs, and Alex Lang for Castellanos. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely wow. Absolutely okay with that. That's crazy. I'm good with it. Theorize how Joe sets the lineup against righty-lefty ideal situation. So it doesn't look like the Cubs have given up major league talent. Somebody has to go, okay? But who, right? Castellanos is going to play. Yes, the Cubs gave up little. I'm good with this. It just, man. Castellanos is going to be an everyday guy. But, man, what is All this is happening after the deadline. This is amazing. It was, man. I don't know how to answer the lineup question right now. I don't. I'm still trying to comprehend what's going on. It just, because it all hit once. And that's kind of where I kind of like sitting here thinking about this, but it's just, yeah. Back to our point, if you only have to give up a little, why aren't more teams going for it? I don't actually know that answer. With the exception of a guy like Madison Bumgarner, which you would have had to give up a lot for Madison Bumgarner or Noah Syndergaard. You have these rentals that are not that weren't expensive, and I don't understand. I mean, teams were waiting for the last minute, literally the last minute, to make these moves. Exactly, Chris Archer. Thank you, RT. Think exactly what the Pirates gave up for Archer. They gave up a haul for Archer. And now you're looking at guys like Baumgartner, who's a free agent. You're looking at guys like Zach Wheeler, who's a free agent. And even Nick Castellanos, who the Cubs got for, I mean, I hate losing Richard because he is kind of high on the Cubs list. It's not costing them out that much for these rentals. And I don't understand. And think about it. Nobody was moved from the Cubs. No big, like, prospect, anything like that. Richard and Alex Lang, they're good prospects, but they aren't massive prospects. Cubs got Nick Castellanos. Scooter Gennett has left Cincinnati. How awesome is that? There's another guy who has left the division. Think about everybody who has left the division in the last 2 days. How awesome is it? You've lost Puig. You've lost Gennett now from the Reds. Jesus Aguilar's gone. Corey Dickerson's gone. The NL Central got weaker. At least the small teams, the small teams like the Reds and Pirates, have gotten weaker because they're trading the Cubs killers, which is awesome. Here is Mark Gonzalez put out Castellanos' numbers against left-handed pitching. You ready? 347 batting average, 1.026 OPS versus left-handers. In his last 162 games, so in his last year, according to Kelly Kroll, 279, 335, 467, 91 runs, 54 doubles, 5 triples, 19 home runs. On-base percentage of 415 against left-handers this year. 415 against lefties. That's awesome. The Cubs made the big splash. They do. They did. The Cubs filled a couple holes that they needed to fill. They did get a pitcher in Drew Pomeranz. We're talking about the Brewers. RT did come in again. By the way, RT, thanks for keeping me active with this. I appreciate you listening, watching. I hope you become a subscriber if you aren't already. Unfortunately, I can't see who my subscribers are. If you are a subscriber, I appreciate it. If you aren't, please like and subscribe to this YouTube page. We're trying to build our numbers. We're trying to get more sponsors so we can start selling merch. That's our goal. That's where we are right now. So, again, RT, thanks so much for sticking with me through all this. And, give me questions and stuff like that. Drew Pomeranz came over from the Giants to the Brewers. The Brewers, oh, you're from Crystal Lake? So you're saying that me posting on Crystal Lake's Facebook page has worked? As I've always said that as long as if I can keep doing it, and I at least get one listener from Crystal Lake by going on the Facebook page and putting all my stuff up there, that it was worth it. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm very happy about you. Not only has the Nick Castellanos trade made me happy, that right there has just made my day. That is awesome. That's awesome. So anyways, back to what we were saying. Drew Pomeranz came over. He was a reliever for the Giants. He was not a starter. He was a spot starter, I guess you could say. I would imagine that the Brewers tried to throw him in into the fire, into the rotation. I just don't know if it's going to work. With the fact that who they gave up, I'm shocked that they didn't at least get Will Smith or at least try for Bumgarner. Makes you wonder how serious Bumgarner. Yes, Pomeranz is a soft, which we all know the Cubs can't hit soft tossing left-handers, which is crazy. But I guess that's part of their thinking. He was a big name for the Red Sox at the deadline, right? He was a couple of years ago. But now he has completely fallen off. I mean, he, like I said, he was a reliever and a spot starter. So we'll see. We'll see if it works for the Brewers. They're trying to catch lightning in the bottle. I don't fully understand what the Brewers are actually doing. Because they needed a starter and they never went and actually got one. I don't get it. Bleacher Nation put out something interesting. The Cubs landed the best bat traded at a deadline. That's a question to ask you. And I think he's right. I think the best bat traded at the deadline is Nick Castellanos. Puig's good. But is Castellanos better? I think so. Yeah, and you're right, RT. On paper, it's hard not to see the Cubs taking this division. I've thought that for a while now. Yeah, Puig moved. Scooter Gennett moved. I'm sure there were some small bats that I'm not thinking of. So, Nick Castellanos is the big bat that went, which is crazy. Someone replied, and this is very true. Being the best bat moved at the deadline, Nick Castellanos, that's like saying they got the most talented member of Nickelback, which is true. But you know what? It's what the Cubs needed. And that was that's the key. Yes, we've won the Central on paper for about the last 4 years, and that's true. Hey, besides last year, we've won it. So that's good. Oh man. Here's another interesting tweet. The real winners of the deadline, and this might be true. The Arizona Diamondbacks, the haul that they got for Zach Greinke is huge. That is a haul. Wow. It's really good. It's really good. So they very well could have easily won. They easily probably won the trade. That's awesome. Yeah, that contract. I cannot believe that they were able to move it like that. But you know what? This is this just goes with it. The Astros see a window. The Astros are going for it. They're going to try to win it again this year. And getting Zach Greinke is going to do that. Give them the shot. Yeah. Other than that, man, what a last half hour this was. This was a fun half hour, I have to say. Oh man.
Yeah, like does this put the Cubs? They're usually cash considerations in MLB more than most sports, though, right?
Yes, because the contracts are so much bigger than any other sport. There's no other sport except for football's kind of getting up there, but it's nothing like baseball. Think about what happened this offseason with the contracts. Mike Trout signed his huge contract. Bryce Harper, of course, signed his huge contract. We had Giancarlo Stanton's contract a couple years ago. The contracts are a lot bigger, and teams like to stay under certain luxury taxes. And that's where they are. So that's why cash considerations are more prominent in baseball than other sports. So, RT, again, I appreciate you joining me today. This was fun, and thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. Please tell all your friends about us. Anybody watching, please, if you like this content, please tell all your friends. Tell them to like and subscribe to the YouTube page. Tell them to watch our stuff. Again, we're trying to build our name. We're trying to do all this stuff to get there. So this live show was, of course, special for Trade Deadline. We do a live podcast that's usually runs anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. It really depends. We have a tendency to do it on days that the Cubs play at 7. So we get on about 6:15. We're done before first pitch. Thank you for subscribing. So we try to do this every week. It seems like Tuesdays are kind of the day. Both me and Joel, we have full-time jobs, and so things get in the way. So it's usually Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. Lately, it's been more Tuesday, which is fine. So Fry Sports Radio is Joel Fry. He's out of Des Moines, Iowa. Him and I did a podcast for a different website in 2016. It just happened that we combined forces on a podcast about Major League Baseball in 2016, right when the Cubs were about to win the World Series. So that was cool. Joel's been with me. Him and I actually founded the Ivy Boys. And then because life got in the way, Joel had to leave for a little bit. And I had another co-host, Briz. She's from the St. Louis area, lived here also. And she did a good job, but she has left us and for something else. And Joel's back. And so Joel and I, Joel's more of the numbers guy. I'm the passionate guy. I'm the guy that's going to yell in the microphone. Joel is more of the numbers guy that'll tell you that you're wrong about a lot of things, which is fine, which is great. So that's where we are. That's who we are. That's the Ivy Boys. So again, RT, thanks. So I grew up in Crystal Lake. I lived there my family moved from Denver when I was like 3 months old, and I lived in Crystal Lake for 14 years. 14 years I lived in Crystal Lake. I went to elementary school at South Elementary. I went to middle school at Lundall. My brothers went to South High School and Marian Catholic in Woodstock. We moved before I entered high school down here to the St. Louis area. I never left. I still love going to Crystal Lake. I've taken my wife there. I can't wait to take my daughter there. I've introduced her to Country Donuts. Best donuts you'll ever have. It's still the best donut I've ever had. Even there's some good places down here, but nothing compares to Country Donuts. And of course, Tommy's. Got to have Tommy's when I get up there. But those two are the main staples that if I go to Crystal Lake, those are the two places I usually stop. There was a place in RT, maybe if you're still with me, maybe you can answer this question. It's a frozen custard place, and it was over by 176 and 14 Highway. what's the name of it? Julie Ann's frozen custard. Is Julie Ann's frozen custard still a thing? The Freeze. I love the Freeze. Their dip cones are the best dip cones. They're so much better than Dairy Queen's, I can tell you that. But Julie Ann's frozen custard. Is that still a thing? Granted, it's been like almost 20 years since I've lived there, so that very well might not be a thing anymore. The Freeze used to be by the McDonald's right there that had the train attached to it, I believe. Julienne's is a thing over by Virginia and 14 now. Okay, so they moved. Okay, good. I mean, I always enjoyed them. They weren't better than the Freeze, I can tell you that. I did see that the McDonald's with the train right by the Freeze was torn down. I was kind of upset with that because that was my favorite McDonald's. But that's okay. Things happen. Things change, right? But anyways, that was the trade deadline, the last 30 minutes. And again, I do appreciate everybody listening. RT, thanks for interacting. To summarize, basically, the NL Central, mainly the three teams, because what the Reds did, that's just going to take another half hour to try to explain it. The Cubs landed Nick Castellanos, Tony Kemp, David Phelps, and Derek Holland in the last week. Not only that, but they also signed Craig Kimbrell. Brewers added Jordan Lyles, Drew Pomeranz, and I forget the guy's first name, Black. He's all right. Cardinals, what? Cardinals got Cingrani? I missed that one. When did they get Cingrani? Did they get Cingrani while we were talking? Tony Kemp is a bench player. He will be a bench player for the Cubs. The Cubs were not going to keep three catchers. So trading Martin Maldonado made sense. Getting a guy to come off the bench made a lot of sense. So that's who Tony Kemp is. He's better than Daniel Descalso, and he's better than Addison Russell. Tony Kemp will get wow. Tony Kemp will get on base when you need him to. The Cardinals acquired Tony Cingrani and Jeffrey Abreu from the Dodgers for Jed Jerko. That was a sneaky move. And I'll tell you why. Tony Cingrani can be a solid left-hander coming out of the pen for the Cardinals. Do I think that is it better than Castellanos? Absolutely not. But that's a good trade. That's a good trade. Oh, man. Gosh darn it. I can't believe the Cubs got him. I can't believe this last 30 minutes has been absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Caratini's better than Maldonado based off of offensively, and he's about equal defensively. So trading Caratini would not have made sense to me unless, of course, they were going to get a big piece like Whit Merrifield. So there's that. Astros are picking up that contract of Greinke, by the way. Anyways, I am going to go ahead and end it. I don't think there's obviously nothing else going on. We're 37 minutes past the deadline. I think we're done. I got to get ready. We're going to the ball game. So, all right, guys. Again, I appreciate all this. I appreciate the support from URT. I appreciate anybody who watched, listened, anything like that. Please check us out. Like and subscribe to this YouTube page. We are sponsored by Rebecca Lewis of Coldwell Baker Gondecker. 314-369-9680. RebeccaSellsDreams.com. Like us on Twitter at the Ivy Boys. I'm at Chipper Strike 3. Joel's at Fry Sports Radio. We're on Facebook. Again, like and subscribe to this YouTube page. That would be amazing. Again, guys, thanks so much for listening. We do appreciate all the support that you give us. We will see you next episode. Live episode, probably Tuesday, I would assume. All right, guys, take care.
I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. much too fast to take that test. Change it. Turn and face the strain.